217 Recovery Podcast. I'm Corey Winfield. Matt is with me today. Matt, how you doing?
Yeah. Doing good.
Did you just get done with your concert tonight?
I did. I just got done at the Valdoon Lake.
Yeah, you going to rap one of your tunes for us tonight?
Not tonight.
You remember the Fat Boys, don't you?
No.
Okay.
Never heard of them.
They got a song. It's called My Nuts. No, they did like a version of Wipeout.
Never heard of it.
Okay, I'm dating myself, and so are you. Matt's just a youngin', folks. No, we had a good little day today. You worked on step 3. You're working the steps pretty hardcore. You went with your sponsor to a mountain, Avalanche Mountain, and will you say a prayer for step 3? I don't understand.
Yeah. I said the step 3 prayer, and I turned my my will over to God, and just admitting that I'm powerless over my situation, over my thinking, over alcohol, I'm powerless over everything in general.
Give me your money. I want all your money. You're powerless over me.
That I have a little bit of control over.
Yeah, isn't it funny how we'd go to the liquor store and be like, "Pew, there you go." Like, we'd give up that money so quick, but you want to buy a new shirt or something. I can't afford that, man. That shirt's $30. I can't be buying that. It's going to cut into my fund, and I got to make sure I have at least $7 in there because I get paid till, next Friday. And, if I can make it down and I need a half gallon here, but if I can get just $7, that'll get me the 5th on Friday that I need to get me to pay. Dude, it's crazy how we'll do that.
It is.
But then, like I said, we'll walk past a shirt that we need. Dude, one time I was walking around, and, when I was in radio, I was in the studio most of the time. I had this hole in my crotch, man, like this big, bro. Like, I had to wear shorts underneath my pants, on top of my boxers so my junk wouldn't be hanging out. And I didn't care. I needed that case of beer. That was more important than buying new pants. Come on, man. Like, that's just crazy living. And I guess I convinced myself that, hey, man, it's cool. Like, it's cool to have ripped pants and open crotch. And
yeah,
my coworkers would say stuff to me, but I didn't even care, man. It was just like, whatever, bro.
Yeah, just pretend it's in the style.
Yeah, I'll wear those nice pants later. But now I dress way different, and that's the thing. We went to a meeting. I went to a meeting. It was a very great meeting. Tom was the speaker, and he was talking about how people change in recovery and stuff like that, and, part of, your self-worth and the doubts that he said people have about themselves. It's little things like you bought new shoes last week. That feels good when you put those babies on. It still feels good.
Great.
And it's rewarding yourself with those kind of things that help more than people think. Because even probably about an hour or two after you bought them, you're still probably thinking, man, I shouldn't have spent, $65, $75 on those shoes. But now you're like, I'm glad I did,
Right.
It's a great investment when you invest in yourself. But recovery, Tom was talking about it today. When people say domestic abuse, you think, oh, lock them up. Child abuse, lock them up.
Yep.
Substance abuse, lock them up, right? That word abuse. And I was thinking about it. Yeah, he's absolutely right. So a lot of people are saying substance disorder. I'm like, okay. Like that makes total sense, and just about the image of recovery. And it was some survey said that was just recently done about people in recovery and about people in their understanding of the word recovery. And he's like, people were thinking, oh, you're in recovery. That means that you're going to start stopping, or you're thinking about, stopping your addiction. And it's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't have called it 217 recovery. But I think the term recovery is gaining some momentum, and people are kind of understanding in the community, and that's what they want to get their point out. Substance disorder, sounds a lot better than alcoholic or, oh, I'm hooked on this drug, or, a lot of people that are hooked on different drugs, like, oh, I'm a junkie, and that's not a good term. That's such a stereotype. It's such a negative, derogative term to be placing on someone when, whether it's alcohol, whether it's heroin, whether it's meth, whether it's food. We don't lock people up for being addicted to cupcakes. True. I'm telling you, you put a plate of brownies and ice cream in front of me, dude, I go on benders, man, for weeks.
Relapse.
yeah, I'll relapse on some food, but I'm not getting locked up for it. I just have an eating disorder, that's what they'll say. And that's fine, and we'll get those people help, and we'll get them treatment, and well, why can't we get that same thing? We can. And Tom was saying that in 1956 is when they actually came out and said addiction is a disease. And that's when they started having the funding and treatment centers started opening. And it's taken this long. I mean, we had pretty good treatment, I'd say. But back in 2008, when somebody would go away for treatment, they would have an average of 44 days. And that's with detox and the actual treatment center. So that was 44 days, which is okay, that's good. But he said it went down to, I think, 7 days. And it was like, whoa, like, what are you going to try to do in 7 days? Like, detox? Alcohol can take 2 weeks, like, to fully kind of, and it's longer than that sometimes,
Yeah.
But the way that it's going, though, he said that, there's a war on drugs or whatever, when their whole war on drug campaign came out, then there was a war on treatment centers, and he's like, yeah, that's still going on today. And I have nephews. You have a niece, just one?
3.
3 nieces. I got 3 nephews and a niece. And I hope to God that they have the most perfect life ever and they don't struggle with addiction and they get married and have a bunch of kids and life's just great and they win the lottery and just everything. I hope that. Life has its way. Nothing happens in the world without who?
God.
God, yeah.
God. Number one.
It's his world, and this is the plans, and these are the things that are laid out. So we can't plan for it. We just go with the flow, man. When we tried to plan for it, it didn't work out so hot. But what we can plan for is spreading the word of recovery, and this is something that we want to do. And the way Tom was talking today, and he was saying that he used to go around the country, and talk to people, and just spread the word about recovery and what it is, and how people are affected, and to try to get this negative stigma off of us, because I'm a good person, you're a good person. Did we do bad things? Sure. Everybody does bad things. I mean, was it really that bad? I don't know, man. I'm not going to dig into your past. I'm not going to, that's time for you to tell that somewhere, But I know you're not a bad guy. Not sitting here with me right now, if you were a bad guy, would have had you leave room 217, I'm like, that guy needs to go. I know he was here first, but he's got to go. What if we should tell the story about 217 a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about it? So, you were the first in room 217 before it became 217. And it was you and a couple other people, whoever.
Yeah.
They're not unimportant. And, well, they are to them. They are important to themselves. So sorry, guys, didn't mean to offend you. But then Rob came in there, and Rob came into the treatment center, I think, a couple days after I did. So he was up in there pretty much from the jump, from this whole time there. But I was downstairs with a crazy Marine, Jamie Kelly. Man, God put me in that room for a reason. I really helped him out a lot, just calming him down, man. He had never been in treatment before, and it was like it's been my career for the last 4 years, it seems like. But I was like, yo, you need to calm down a little bit, rethink what you're saying here, man. But no, it was great meeting Jamie. We were great friends to this day. But then they moved me up to room 217, and I was like, well, I knew Rob was in there, and Rob kind of hung out with Jamie and I, so I'm like, okay, well, I know Rob and Matt are in that room, because I know Matt and Rob are roommates, so all right, this is going to be a cool room. Little did I know how cool it was going to be, but when I came in there, you were probably thinking, oh, this knucklehead.
Exactly. Yeah.
You didn't know how great it was going to be, though, did you? Yeah, I come in, I'm like, no boots in the bathroom. Like, this is getting ridiculous. But then we started, like, having fun with it, and we were playing different games and stuff. And when I say games, I don't mean, like, in the room by ourselves, Well, we did play MFK.
Yeah.
Marry, blank, kill. And we had many rounds of that, and it would be good. We'd throw out a name, like, sometimes they'd be staff, sometimes they'd be other people, sometimes they'd be celebrities. You got to marry one, you got to hook up with another one, you got to kill the other one, MFK. And we would throw in some good ones, some really bad ones, but we had fun, man. And I remember that night that the security guard came up. Okay, here's the deal. Like, apparently, some people have been sneaking in and out of rooms. So this treatment center we were at, they said that they were going to do room checks with this security guard guy who apparently Walmart wasn't hiring. I don't know. So he got a job there instead, and he thought he was part of the Michigan State Police Task Force, but he wasn't. So he said, we're doing room checks at 11. You know, some of the guys are starting to get mad, so I was always trying to find opportunities to change people's perception and thinking about it to where, okay, well, if you're mad that he's coming in at 11, how can we make this fun? You know, so we decided we were going to jump in bed, because he had said, he was like, if you guys don't open your door when I knock, I got a key and I'm coming in. And my ears just perked up and smile on my face. I can't wait. I had the whole week planned out of stuff we were going to do when he opened that door. So the first night, though, we jumped in bed. I was like, all right, guys, when he knocks on the door, we're all going to be in our beds. You know, we had 3 beds right next to each other. Boom, boom, boom. In this, like, hotel. It was like an old hotel style room. But it was really nice, though, and the beds were very comfortable. But, so we're in the beds. We got under the covers, and he beats on the door, and we were just kind of laughing, you know. And then we started acting like we were, well, we could say dolphin flogging.
Yeah,
we were doing that, acting like we were, well, you probably get the picture of what we were doing. I don't really have to say what we were doing. You could probably figure it out. You know, we had a magazine in one hand, and the other hand was pumping for oil or something, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But, so he opens the door, and he's like, oh, real funny, guys. And then, of course, I was done with my magazine, so I was like, something like that. I don't remember. You probably can't forget that sound that I was making, but he was not happy, and he was like, I'm going to email your therapist, and blah, blah, blah. So then the next night is when it all went down. I was going somewhere with the story about that, but anyway, it's a good story, too.
Yeah.
The next night, I was like, okay, we're going to jump in the bed with Rob, who's in the middle, and we're going to jump under the covers with him, and we're going to help him with the oil. And he's going to have his hands, like, behind his head, you know, like when the cops are like, hands on your head, you know, with the, you know, fingers crossed. And he's kind of sitting up, sort of laying up against the headboard of the bed. And we were going to be pumping oil. And the security guy was going to open the door. And then Rob was going to say to him, look, no hands. But he refused to open the door that night. I think he knew something was up. And, I mean, we were asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were sleeping, man. That's what really happened. We were dead asleep. And he came, and we didn't open the door. But yeah, there was like some yelling going on. People were woken up, and it turned out to be quite the night. But that's what I was going to say. You were sitting there, and you were laughing, and you were about to come to the sober living house, and you were like, I can't leave, man. This is too much fun. Oh, man. Oh, if he would have opened that door, though, it would have been awesome. And then, I don't know if we told you, but we did the one where he was packing his dip.
Oh, no.
And I was like laying on a bed, and Rob had his back turned to the wall. Trevor opened the door, and I was laying off the bed, like I was down on the floor looking for something with my mouth open, kind of looking up at Rob, who was standing with his back towards the door, and he was packing his dip, like pop, pop, pop. So it looked, yeah. But it was like a quick thing that we did to jump on there because it was a surprise check. We were like, I thought we had 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was still surprised by that. So it was good times, though. 217recovery.com. We do have resources up there. One thing I did want to mention real quick, the Angel program, there's a link to that. If you don't know anything about it, go check it out. If you know somebody who wants to get into treatment, maybe you want to get into treatment, and you're just like, I don't know, it's my job, and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Your job's not going to be there anyway if you don't get help. I'll tell you that right now. And then there's also a link, too, to where if you're like, well, I don't know if there's any beds available near me, or, you know, maybe you want to go to New Mexico. I don't know why you'd want to go to New Mexico, but maybe you do. You know, maybe you're listening in New Mexico. I have no idea, but you can just go to the link for Recuv Hub, and you just type in your zip code, hit enter, boom, it'll tell you what places are around, how many beds are available, so that makes it a lot easier for you as well. Again, 217recovery.com. For Matt, I'm Corey. Thanks again for listening, and tomorrow we'll be back, and I'm going to get Trevor to join us tomorrow. He'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure. Until then, have a great night.